Okay, here's a video showing you how to print on your Bambu Labs P1S printer. I'm going to try to make this as simple as I possibly can. 3D printing is a weird hobby that it can be really simple or it can be super complex. But let's get into it. When you open up Bambu Studio, which is the slicer or program that sends print jobs to your printer, you're going to end up at this home page, and we can find models that we want to print by going to online models on the left here. So I'm just going to click on online models, and this brings up a kind of site called Maker World, which is Bambu Labs' dedicated repository of 3D prints. So we're going to search for something. Let's say that we want to learn about addition or make a model that has to do with addition. So if I put in addition here, it's going to bring a bunch of different models that I can print out, including this ridiculously cool mechanical frog calculator that I am absolutely going to try. So if I click on the print, so first of all, it brought up a bunch of different options here of things that I possibly could print, like these stacking number blocks or fidget spinners for multiplication, all sorts of things. But let's say I want to print out this mechanical calculator. I would go ahead and click on that. And then I would go ahead and just actually click on the profile of what I want to print. Now, there's a bunch of different profiles that are listed here. What these are just different settings that people use to print the project. Honestly, just pick the first one. The first one is going to be fine. So I'm going to select the first print job here and then click download and open. And that's all I need to do to start working on that particular project to get it to my printer. So here it brings me to all of the different plates that my printer would need to print to make this project. And just in terms of what a plate is like one print job, one printing. And then the plate would have to be cleared before you start the next plate. So this is like the one thing at a time that I can print. So you can see here that for this particular print job, I got a lot of frog parts over here and then some other parts and then the addition or the multiplication. That's cool. It can do both set up as well. So I would start out with one of the plates that I want to print, and all I'm doing is left clicking on it. And then in order for me to actually print this, get ready to send it to the printer, I would end up clicking on Slice Plate. But there's two things you need to first check and make sure are correct. And that is the printer itself that you're printing to, and then the plate that is loaded into the printer. Those are the only two settings that we're going to play around with. Everything else we're just going to leave as it is. And that's the whole reason why we load in the print profile, is that it has all the print settings already determined. So you don't have to think a bunch about it. You don't have to fiddle. You can just get to printing. So on this drop-down menu, we are going to select Bambu Lab P1S because that's the printer we have. And then under the plate, you've got a few different options, but the two that we're going to be using is either the textured PEI plate or the smooth PEI plate. Now the textured PEI plate is a completely different color, different look than the smooth one, so it's really hard to mix them up. And it's also written straight on the plate that's loaded into the printer. But the difference is really obvious, and it's in the name. Textured gives you a texture on the bottom, while smooth is just smooth on the bottom of the print. When I am not caring between the two, I like using textured just because it's a little bit easier for the filament to stick to it, so there's less chances of the print to fail. Once I've selected that, and I've selected the plate that I want to print first, all I then do is click on the Slice Plate button. This is when the program is changing it from the model into directions for the machine. So it's telling the machine exactly how it needs to move and do in order for it to make this print. Now that it is sliced, I just have one step left, and that is clicking Print Plate. Kind of lied, it's not just one step. I also have to select the filament. So right here, this is showing, hey, green is the color of the model. and what filament do I want to print it with on my printer. So of the filaments that I have loaded into the printer currently, there's black, blue, an empty spot, and green. So if we wanted it to be blue instead, we would just select blue, and that's saying that everything was green on the plate is now going to be blue when we print it. Or of course, if we want green, we just select green. So this is just selecting what color we want to print that plate in. Then from there, the last step is just pressing send. This will then, after that, switch to a view where we can see the print job in real time and its progress and everything else. But this is the point where it is sending it now to the printer, and it will be printing on that printer. So you can see here the progress of the print. It's currently downloading to the printer. If you want to view actually what the printer is doing at this time, you can press the play button right here on the screen, and that's going to tap into the camera of that printer, which will start working right away here. It was just busy with getting the print job. So there we can see the inside of the printer, so we can watch live as it prints and make sure that nothing is going wrong. Even fun features like I can turn off the lamp, turn out the lights, and then I can turn them back on again. So lots of fun stuff in this particular view. We don't really have to do much in here, but I will talk about changing filaments a little bit later. Okay, that's it. That is how to send a print job to your Bambu Labs P1S printer.